to bite-sized tips to build an online brand. This short podcast offers tips of the trade for digital content marketing in bite-sized pieces. We get to the critical information fast. Many podcasts involve listening for an hour or two of talking heads droning on and on about how great they are. We found some amazing hints and how-tos this week. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's bite-sized tips to build an online brand from my guest post. Today's tips. What does AIDA stand for? The art of writing strong attention-grabbing headlines. What does AIDA stand for in copywriting for marketing and advertising? We explain the AIDA framework and how it can help you write headlines that grab a reader's attention and encourage them to read. Part 1. Breaking through the clutter. What does AIDA mean? Most headlines are boring and repetitive rather than delivering all the benefits of engaging the reader with a gripping or exciting headline. It is not that difficult to change a headline from boring to captivating. Still, it requires you to embrace your creative side and recognize what differentiates the headlines that get the attention of the reader and the ones that don't. AIDA is a framework developed by communications consultants Craig Fuller and David Michael to help writers recognize the telltale signs of boring headlines, and then to come up with captivating headlines that will make the reader want to read the rest of the article. What does AIDA stand for? The 4 parts of AIDA are the tenets of this copywriting style that has proved highly effective. They are attention, interest, desire, and action. Let's take a bit of a deep dive into each part. Part 2. The first point of AIDA, attention. A dramatic headline is designed to capture the reader's attention and start their brain spinning through other text and links until they give the headline the right kind of thought. You do this by creating the headline at the top of your page and then incrementally developing the text inside the headline to ensure that the entire message gets across. Number 1 rule: avoid long verbose headlines. A headline with too much content will likely confuse the reader. The text in your headline must be simple and easy to read so that it's the first thing your reader will read. Don't spend too much time trying to create a headline that says more than it does. Which headline is more interesting? All about composting toilets versus composting toilets. 6 helpful hints for this nasty thing. Which one draws your attention to want Toriad? Part 3. The second point of AIDA, interest. Let's look at the AIDA versus the Nielsen framework. You're ready to see how to apply the AIDA framework to your headlines in real time to provide all the required elements for a good headline. The AIDA framework is easy to use and makes the headline writing process much faster and easy to remember. The AIDA framework works in the same way as the Nielsen framework. The headline is the combination of 3 parts. It should use 10 words or fewer. Use 2 terms in the headline. While making these steps, it's essential to remember that the words in your headline must be punchy, powerful, and catchy. It must inspire the reader with an interest to take a call for action, namely to read further. Part 4. The third point of AIDA, desire. We've all felt this one. We're the type of person that loves having the desire to do something in our lives. That sense of desire to do something, whether traveling the world or exploring a new hobby, is compelling. Yet, how do we build and express our desire? This is where the question of what becomes a significant part of the AIDA framework. Such as, where do you see yourself in the next year? Where do you dream about going? Where do you want to be in the next 3 months? Why are you excited about what you're doing? The answers to these questions will paint a picture of your desire. Keep in mind that this information will often change. You may have new goals next year, and must adapt how you express your desire. Part 5. The final point of AIDA, action. Your headlines must be designed to teach you how to increase attention in an easily digestible way. What does it stand for? Attention, click to tweet, learn more, and so on. All these action words are saying is, do this and you will be happy. Think of the word action as the opposite of procrastination. How can you apply this ideal in your own headline writing? Rather than procrastinating on what you're supposed to do the action. What outcome are you trying to achieve? Your headline should give the reader an easy path to travel. It should indicate, or even shout, what the reader should do next. Click the link? Read the tweet? Fill out the form? Make a call? All actions to close the deal, all actions to lead the reader toward a path of what are you hoping to achieve. Final thoughts about AIDA. People read headlines all the time. They trust headlines that promise them big ideas and encourage them to read more. Thinking about headlines as chunks of text that you can shape to match the message you want to convey. Think for where the reader needs to be and craft your headlines that will keep readers engaged. Readers won't take time to read a dull headline. They want to be hooked. Now you know what AIDA stands for. There is so much great advice and inspiration for writers, so let us know which tips, tricks, and resources you use and why in the comments. This concludes this week's bite-sized lesson on how to build your brand online. Thank you for taking the time to listen to iGuest Post's bite-sized podcast. If you like this kind of short, informative podcast, you are invited to subscribe. Just search for bite-sized tips to build an online brand from wherever you're listening from. Please watch for and download next week's podcast and take a moment to give us a review. Have a great day.